Hello students, welcome to tutoringcluster.com. So this is a part number 2. In part number 1, we have already seen some multiple choice questions, and also I have explained each and every concept related to that question. So hope you are finding these videos useful. If you are new on my YouTube channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that whenever I am uploading the new video, you will get the notification of it. You can join us on Telegram, and also you can find us on Facebook. You can write, you can type as tutoring cluster on Facebook or on Telegram. So this is a part number 2. So let us see what are the different questions, and let us learn something new from this part number 2. Definitely this series is going to helpful for your exam preparation. Now, the first question is, heat derived from steam or water from internal heat of earth is. So I have already explained you what is a geothermal power plant, right, in the previous videos. So basically this is a schematic of geothermal power plant. So you are having a heat energy or hot water, you can say the heat content of this hot water, it is used to heat the water and to produce the steam, right? Now this steam, it we are allowing it to fall on steam turbine which is connected to generator. So generator is going to produce an electrical energy. Now water again, we are sending it into the earth crust through the cooling water. So in cooling water, what is going to happen? This hot water, it is getting cooled. So basically steam, it is getting cooled and it will be converted into water, which will be again rejected into the earth crust. So this is an overall setup of what geothermal power plant. And remember one thing, geothermal energy, it is what? It's a renewable source of energy. Okay, it's a renewable source of energy. So heat which is derived from steam or water from internal heat of earth, it is nothing but geothermal energy. Okay, now let us see the next. A device which converts light energy directly into electricity by photovoltaic effect is hydrogen fuel cell, wind turbine, nuclear reactor, solar cell. So in case of hydrogen fuel cell, basically we are converting what? Chemical energy into electrical energy, right? In case of turbine, we are using a wind energy, right? That can be converted to electrical. In case of nuclear reactor, we are using a fuel as a uranium, right? And using a nuclear fission, we are producing an electrical energy. And in case of solar cell, this is a solar cell. Okay, so basically you are having a PN junction. How it is formed? By having P type of material and N type of material, right? This is basically a solar panel which is going to receive the sunlight, and sunlight basically it is what? It's a light energy. So this light energy, it is going to get converted into electrical energy, right? So what is the correct answer? Solar cell. So solar cell is a device which converts light to electrical energy, right? So basically electron flow will be there, and that is nothing but electricity, right? So remember how this solar panel works. So you are having a PN junction, and how PN junction is formed. So you must be knowing P type of impurity, N type of impurity, right? Okay. So I have already prepared one video on solar energy. You can go and watch. So there I have explained you all this in detail, right? So let us see the next question. The function of steam nozzle is to convert a pressure energy into. So nozzle, it converts a pressure energy into a kinetic energy. Into what? A kinetic energy, right? So this is the nozzle. So you are having a pressure energy, or let's say potential energy at one end, and you will be having a kinetic energy at the other. So this high velocity water, it is going to heat on the bucket, and this bucket is going to rotate, which is further connected to a generator, right? So basically this is what, this is a schematic of a Pelton wheel, right? And it is which type of turbine? Basically it's a impulse turbine. It is what, a impulse turbine. Remember this is important, Pelton wheel. Okay, so what is the correct answer? It's a kinetic energy. Now let us see the next. The steam turbine is used to produce dash energy by expanding high pressure steam. Steam turbine is used to produce, yes, again, mechanical energy by expanding. See, when we talk of a water turbine and a steam turbine, see, function, it's a turbine basically. So function will remain same, that it is going to convert a pressure energy into a mechanical energy. Is it correct? No. Water turbine, it is going to use the water as name suggests, and steam turbine, it is going to use a steam, right? So this is the basic difference. Turbine can be classified based on working fluid. So if it is a water turbine, if it is a steam, it is going to be steam turbine. Function will remain same. Pressure energy will be converted into electrical energy. And what is the next component to the turbine? In both the cases, it is a generator. It is a generator. Okay. So water turbine, where we use this? In hydroelectric power plant. In hydroelectric power plant. Steam turbine, where we uses this? In thermal power plant. In thermal power plant. Remember the basic difference. Okay. So I hope the question is clear to you. Okay. If you're new to our channel, please do like and subscribe the YouTube channel so that you will get benefited every time. Now, the generator converts. Okay. I have told you generator. So generator is going to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Okay. I have already explained. We have seen the concept of generator 2-3 times before also. Now, let us see the next. The function of boiler is to generate dash dash on expense of heat energy supply. Okay. Basically, what is a boiler? So basically, boiler, it is used to produce a steam. It is used to produce a steam from water, of course. Steam from water. Okay. Now, how we are going to heat this water? It will be different. For example, in case of thermal power plant, you are using or you are burning the coal to heat the water and to produce the steam. In case of, let's say, nuclear power plant, okay, you are using uranium fuel. Okay, you are performing a nuclear fission to produce what? To produce the heat. That heat will be used to heat the water and to produce the steam. Okay, so the input will be different. Input to the boiler. So what is the function of basically boiler? Function of boiler is to generate a steam on the expense of heat energy supply. Now, there are number of ways you can classify the boilers. The first classification can be as a water tube boiler and fire tube boiler. It can be a water tube and a fire tube boiler, or it can be based on its arrangement. It can be a vertical and a horizontal boiler, horizontal or a vertical boiler. Okay, so there are number of ways you can classify the boiler, or it can be classified as internally fired boiler and externally fired boiler and externally fired boiler. Right, so there are a number of ways you can classify the boiler. Okay, and the function of boiler is what? Function of boiler is to produce a steam. Okay, to produce the steam from water. Right, is it clear about the boiler? Now let us understand what is fire tube boiler basically. So in case of a fire tube boiler, the hot gases or the flue gases from the furnace are passed through the tubes which is surrounded by the water. So fire tubes. So inside the tubes, if fire is there or flue gases, and outside the flue gases, water should be there. This is the construction for fire tube boiler. Okay, example of the fire tube boiler is Cochrane boiler. It is what? A Cochrane boiler. Now, when we talk of a water tube boiler, so of course inside the tube there will be water and the flue gases will be around it. There will be flue gases around it. What is the example of water tube boiler? It can be Babcock and Wilcox boiler. Babcock and Wilcox boiler. Okay, Wilcox W. Okay, Wilcox boiler. Right now. Horizontal and vertical, this is based on the axis of, this is basically axis of boiler. This is based on the axis of boiler. Okay, if it is horizontal, it's a horizontal. So basically your Babcock and Wilcox, it's a horizontal boiler. Cochrane, it is a vertical boiler. And internally fired means your furnace, it is inside the boiler. It is furnace is inside the boiler. And if it is outside, it's externally fired. Right. So Cochrane boiler, it's an internally fired. Babcock and Wilcox boiler, it is an externally fired boiler. Right. One more way of classifying is this high pressure and low pressure boiler. So low pressure and high pressure boiler. High pressure boiler. So these are the various ways. So basically, this is based on the pressure of steam produced. If it is less than 20 bar, it is considered as low pressure. If it is more than 20 bar, it is considered high pressure boiler. So this is overall about a boiler. So basically the function of boiler is to produce the steam from the water. These are the various classification and examples of the boiler. I hope you have got now overall idea about a boiler. Now, so let us discuss the next question. Question number 22. Okay. The moderators in the nuclear reactor are used to reduce the speed of fast moving neutrons without them, without absorbing them, without absorbing them. Now, the figure which you are seeing here, it's a schematic of nuclear power plant. It is schematic of nuclear power plant. So basically it consists of nuclear reactor. Basically it consists of what? Nuclear reactor. Now this nuclear reactor, what are the parts of it? So it consists of a moderator, then it is having a control rods, right? So this is a reactor. Okay, control rods in it, and for shielding purpose, or you can say for the protection, it is having a external shield. So what is the function of moderator? So basically, when the fission of nuclear fuel takes place, it produces a fast moving neutron. Okay, so these neutrons, these are slowed down. That means the speed of the neutron reduced by the moderator without absorbing them. Now, when we talk of a control rod, the control rod basically it regulates the energy which releases by absorbing the neutrons. Okay, see, you have to note that moderator reduces the speed of the neutrons without absorbing them, while control rod it regulates the energy release by absorbing neutron. Okay, so function of moderator it is what to reduce the speed, and function of control rod is to regulate the energy which is released. Okay, moderator does not absorb the neutron, while control rod it absorbs the neutron. I hope the things are clear. So again, you have whatever heat is going to produce. So with that, water will be heated. It is going to produce the steam. So there will be a turbine. So this turbine is going to rotate. So turbine is connected to generator, and we are going to get electrical energy. Again, this hot steam it is again converted into water by passing it through condenser. Right. So this is how nuclear power plant works. So I have made a separate video on this. You can go and watch. The link is given in the description box. So there I have explained you in detail about a nuclear power plant, what are its parts, what are the advantages, disadvantages of it. Right. So definitely you will find those videos very useful. Still, if you have not seen it, please do and watch. Next. Control rods are used to regulate, see, just now we have seen the control rods used to regulate the energy release by absorbing what? By absorbing neutrons, right? Okay. So once the concept is clear, the things are very easy. Now the function of surge tank is to protect the dash dash due to sudden variation of flow of water. Okay. So basically the function of surge tank is to protect the penstock. Okay, in the previous video, I have given you an overall parts of the hydroelectric power plant. So in that schematic, the surge tank is also shown. So there you can go and watch. So what is basically the function of surge tank? The function of surge tank is to protect the penstock due to sudden variation of flow or velocity of water. So it is located, it is located near the powerhouse on high ground. Okay, this is the location. So remember, it protects the penstock due to sudden variation of flow of water or sudden variation in the velocity of water. Right? Okay. So I hope the questions which I am taking are useful to you. I am also trying to give the explanation of each and every topic related to it so that along with the question and answer, the concepts will also get clear. Now, hydraulic turbines are used to convert. So, number of times we have seen. So, basically, the hydraulic turbines these are used to convert. You can say pressure energy or potential energy and kinetic energy of the water into mechanical energy. Into mechanical energy. So, number of times we have seen this. So, basically, all the energy conversions are important. Now, dam is used to increase the storage capacity of Dam is used to increase the storage capacity of a reservoir and increases the working head of the plant. Okay, so basically this is related to hydroelectric power plant. Hydroelectric power plant, right? So where we are having a reservoir and dam. So basically dam these are used to increase the storage capacity of reservoir, right? So basically it's a wall, right? And it increases the head of the plant, working head of the plant. Now, let us see next. In hydroelectric plant, the dash energy of water is used to move the hydraulic turbine. Okay, so basically potential energy and the kinetic energy of the water is used to move the hydraulic turbine. Okay, next question. The pump transfers input mechanical energy of the engine into. So what is the function of pump? Basically, it converts what? Mechanical energy into a pressure energy as well as the kinetic. See, pressure energy, of course, is going to increase, but water is flown through the pump with certain velocity. It also increases the velocity of water. So increase in velocity means increase in kinetic energy. So the correct answer will be both A and B. Okay, remember again I am telling you, make sure you are understanding the function of motor and pump. Motor, it converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. Pump, it converts the mechanical energy into a pressure energy. And of course, it increases the velocity. That's why we are saying it also increases the kinetic energy of the fluid. Right? So correct answer is both A and B. So hope all the questions are clear to you. Still, if you have any doubt, if you are finding any doubt in any question, you can write us in the comment box. So till now, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do it, and also hit the notification bell, and please do like and share these videos with your friends also. You can find us on the Telegram channel and as well as on the Facebook. Link is already given in the description box. Also, you can find a free handwritten notes. The link to download all the notes from unit number 1 to 4. The links is given in the description box. You can download. Those are freely available. So hope you have understood all the question and hope this will help you for your preparation in the upcoming exams. Thank you.